Hello and good evening. It is Wednesday, the 2nd of December, and you are listening to Chat's Entertainment 25 Reviews of Christmas, Episode 2. So today's edition is focusing on a film that is fairly new to the Christmas catalogue, and it is called Operation Christmas Drop. So this movie debuted on Netflix on November the 5th, 2020. So it's a fairly new one. So the film is set around a congressional aide called Erica, who is played excellently by Kat Graham, who many of you may know as Bonnie in The Vampire Diaries. So Erica forgoes the usual family Christmas celebrations at home when her boss tasks her with investigating a US Air Force base that is based in Guam, with the intention of finding a reason to recommend its closure. So Erica is sent out to this base where she meets Andrew, who is a US Air Force base captain. And Andrew is tasked, unfortunately, with showing Erica around and basically helping her see why it's not a good idea to shut the base down and all of the good things that they do on this base. And it takes a lot of convincing. So this particular base has a yearly tradition of airlifting goods to the people of the neighbouring islands for Christmas. And Andrew shows Erica around the base and he shows her the various islands that this airdrop affects and basically demonstrates that this tradition is worthwhile, and because of that the base should not be closed. So he has an awful lot of convincing to do because she is a very driven woman. Like, it's a very good character. She's very driven. She knows that there is a job opportunity waiting for her at home if she impresses the congresswoman she works for, and of course she's not going to let that opportunity pass her by, and she tries to be cynical and tries to look at it from the money side of it. Is it worth keeping this base open? Are they taken from the resources of the base? And it is actually shown that they're not in fact taking any resources from the base. They're going by donations of local people and local businesses, and it just ends up turning her whole view of the base around, and she realizes what an impact it can have on the local people and the local islands, which don't have the same resources that the mainland would. So this film is actually based, interestingly enough, on an actual air mission that the US Air Force do called Operation Christmas Drop. So it is, like I said, a real life US operation, which has been in tradition since 1952, and it serves as a training mission for the US Air Force. So it's become one of the longest running US Department of Defense missions in full operation, and the longest running humanitarian airlift in the world, which I thought was absolutely fascinating. Like, I kind of had heard about the film, but I didn't realise until the end, where the credits kind of talked about this tradition, that it was in fact real, and this was something the Air Force have done in order to help local people that live quite close to this base. And the film has a running time of 1 hour and 36 minutes, and it's very, very family friendly. You could have anyone sitting in the house, in the sitting room, from your nan to your mum to your brother to your young cousin to your dog. Like, literally anyone could enjoy this film. I didn't quite know what it was going to be like because I thought it was I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't quite know how good. Like, it's not, okay, look, it's not one of those films where you're like, oh my god, that was absolutely amazing, but it really hits you in the feels. Like, it's just one of those films where you go, this really restores my faith in humanity. Like, it's such a selfless act that is portrayed in it, and it's just really sweet. And look, Christmas films are one of two things, in my opinion. It's either that they're going to be incredibly joyous and in your face and dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, like literally in your face, I'm gonna show you how good Christmas is. Like, it's, you know, that there's literally in your face, or they're incredibly sad, like Jack Frost. I still can't get over the first time I watched that, and it's the first and the last time I watched it, because never again, I can't take that depression in my life. If you don't know what Jack Frost is, just look it up, because it's horrible. Personally, I think this film falls nicely in between, like, a bit sad in places, I suppose you could say, but at the same time quite happy and upbeat at, you know, on the opposite end. So it's just one of those really, really good feel-good films. It's interesting because it's semi-factual, like it's loosely based. Now, how loosely, I'm not quite sure. It's a firm favourite of mine now, I have to say. I will definitely watch it again. And I suppose I've always really enjoyed the two actors that are in this, like Alexander Ludwig, who plays Andrew. Well, many people would know him probably from the Hunger Games. He played Cato, I think the guy's name is. And then, of course, Kat Graham, who played Bonnie in The Vampire Diaries. She was the reason I kept watching The Vampire Diaries. But it's just a really, really good cast. Lovely message in it, and yeah, just a feel-good movie. And it really kind of highlights how difficult it is to be a serviceman or servicewoman in these situations, because you're away from home for Christmas, and they've really, from the film anyway, they've shown that this is their way of keeping morale up and making sure they don't feel left out, because everyone's at home celebrating Christmas and they can't be there. So it's a lovely film, and yeah, I would recommend it to watch it. It's available on Netflix, one click and it's there, and it's really good. Yeah, I would definitely recommend you to sit down with your family and just take it all in for what it's worth. Yeah, Operation Christmas Drop. So, put on the kettle, it's time for a movie. Night, I'll see you tomorrow.